This is part 9 of Finding the Love Between Them. At 5 a.m., Frankie was in the gym with the other 8 contestants, sweating under the unyielding but careful instruction of the pageant trainers. Each contestant had a physical goal to attain in 1 month ahead of the coronation event. The gym was at the top floor of a shopping center with a breathtaking view of the mountains from which the sun emerged, casting its beams across the patio, bathing it with a morning shower of gold before the exercisers had to retreat inside as the day grew hotter. When the beauties came in, there were already sounds of commitment to body development and fitness. Metal clicked as weight stacks pumped against the tension of muscles in the deltoid or biceps areas, or for those who were doing leg day, the hamstring or calf groups. Different rhythms of steps were underway on the treadmills. Sweat pervaded the air. Someone was at the mirror, this vest lifted, checking the progress of abdominals. For Frankie, she enjoyed the sessions that included soca aerobics because the uplifting, joyous music relaxed her, almost making up for the drudgery of spinning and Pilates and leg day training and weight training. 1 month to attain the results set down on paper. On the ride down to the gym, she would check in with Angola. Hi, it's spinning first today. I'm going to stand as much as I can because those seats hurt my butt. He sent a smiling emoji of a sun. Did you remember your water bottle? I did, LOL. This morning, we will have a session with a mindfulness coach. It sounds like group therapy. Is it this afternoon that you meet your external academic supervisor, the seismic expert? This morning, and if that goes well, as it should, then I'm all clear to return. If not, then I will be living in a hotel. Well, send me the airway bill so that I can clear your things that are on the way. Oh, one of my sisters is taking care of that. Okay, no, really, that's not your responsibility, but thanks for offering. Okay, I'm at the gym now. Later. And he sent her an emoticon with a hugging a heart. It thrilled Frankie when he sent her the emoji hugging the heart. It made her feel that he was hugging the one whom he loved. She returned the emoji and left the conversation there. By lunchtime, they were texting again. Hi, leaving home now for the pageant office. They added another assignment. We will be visiting Parliament. How did the meeting go? Still in the meeting, TTYL. The mindfulness coach was a new role within the pageant system to help the contestants to be prepared for being thrust in the public eye, which was a new experience for most of them. The coach was a middle-aged woman who introduced herself as Sister Bell, a clergywoman. She invited them to explore how the pageant experience was having an impact on them. Did they feel that they were making progress in meeting their personal goals? Immediately, all affirmed in a happy chime that they were pushing themselves beyond their comfort levels and were seeing improvements in physical fitness, socialization skills, making valuable connections, and learning how to put together a viable project. Sister Bell then asked if the experience had an impact on their relationships with loved ones. Most responded that their biggest supporters were their loved ones, parents and siblings and friends and co-workers. Others added that the pageant was a way to rebel against barriers and setbacks, and the participation was a form of independence. She asked them how they were managing the newfound fame, and the stories varied. They concluded that fame was a two-edged sword that they had sought and they had to learn how to live with as they could not manage it. In addition to receiving compliments, they found that the public was pitting them against each other. They had been taking advice not to read social media posts about themselves, as their egos may be broken or become overinflated. I have homework for you, Miss Bell said. When you are in your private prayer time, which you should practice frequently, ask yourself, what is beautiful about me? Ask it in as many dimensions as you can. The answer is important. Write it down and date it. And if something else comes to you, write that down and date it. Let us pray. Frankie automatically closed her eyes and focused on the quietly firm words of Miss Bell, who prayed for forgiveness of all their sins and that the contestants would experience joy as they fulfilled their personal missions while they progressed through the stages of the pageant. Frankie heard sniffles, and when she opened her eyes, she thought that one or two of the contestants were wiping away tears. Hers were misted over too, not with sadness, but from the emotional intensity brought on by self-reflection. The final assignment for the day was to participate in a parliamentary sitting of the House of Representatives as a visitor of the House. The members were debating an amendment to the Water Resources Act to allow for nationalization of air so that atmospheric water harvesting operations could be brought in as a source of tax revenue. One of Frankie's cousins was an opposition MP, and he discreetly waved to her. She smiled and nodded. After she was seated in the pageant bus, Frankie checked her phone. There were messages from Angola. He said, "All went okay. I have some gaps in my thesis, but I can still get access to the data while still in Jamaica, so I'm looking forward to seeing you in 2 days." She replied, "Yay, freedom! I can't wait to see you on Monday. I'm back on the bus now, tired, and will call you when I get home." After dinner with the family, Frankie showered and prepared for bed and then called Angola, ready for the pleasure of listening to the voice that had become dear to her. She had snuggled under the sheets with her earplugs in when he answered. "Hi, my dear, how are you?" she asked. "Yes, now that you have a little time for me. So what did they talk about in Parliament?" She giggled. I have to admit I was not listening to the debate. My highlight of the day is that I'm getting close to one of the contestants, Celine. We have been paired for the dance routine and interviews. She is an interesting person, been in beauty and other competitions and student government from the day that her mother sent her photo to a baby contest, which she won. Young too, 21, and a photographer's assistant. I'm glad your partner is nice. My dearest, I have something disappointing to tell you. I'm not going to be able to see you when I come in. My mother's birthday is coming up, and the family will be gathering in Montego Bay. The plan is that my father will pick me up at the airport, and then we will all drive over to our villa. I'll be back on Monday afternoon. Frankie felt hurt and tried to understand if her hurt was reasonable. A part of getting to know each other was also getting to know each other's families. As she listened to him, she realized that she wanted to hear him say that he at least tried to insist that he needed a day in Kingston for himself, and then he would go down the day after. But there was none. Frankie felt that he could have asked if she could join them for one day of this special family outing that was going across several days. He had no power within his family. "That's lovely," is what she actually said. "Your mom will have her family with her for her special occasion. I won't ask you her age, of course. Don't they tell you about their plans?" "We're very traditional like that. My father makes decisions for the family. But this will change as I grow in the role." "Only one person has independence in a family business, the head of the family," she said. "Once you work in a family business, a business that the family controls, you are owned by the family, which is why Alona started her own business by herself and is trying to stay independent. I don't want to get sucked into it either." In his Florida apartment across the Gulf of America, Angola thought about her words with some embarrassment. It was true. Could he find another way? "You're correct, Frankie, but we lived with the benefits of that lifestyle also. It's a trade-off." "You mean like slavery is a choice?" she said flippantly, and then immediately regretted it. She was acting out her disappointment at not being able to see him the day he landed and that she was not invited to his family gathering. An awkward few moments of silence passed. She wanted to hear him rail against being forced by his family and coming up with a scheme to include her. He wanted to hear her patience with the situation and what he would have, and that he would have to earn his authority within the company. She broke the silence. I'd love to visit your mother and give her a small gift when you come back. Would that be okay? I'm sure she would. I'll tell her so that she can make the time. So I won't see you for another week, Frankie sighed, feeling a rising dejection tinged with rejection. I'll be thinking of you the whole time, he said, especially how you would look on the beach in your pageant swimwear. I did not think that you noticed, she tinkled. What color was it again? And together they